Now we're going to create the drawing file for the pegboard assembly. This one's going to be a little different than ones we've done previously because there's only going to be one view. So our base view is going to be of our pegboard assembly, and we're actually going to put this in isometric or home view by clicking on the little home, and we're going to change our scale here to 1:1. Move it up here in the isometric area in the upper right hand corner. We want it to be shaded, and then click OK. Next, we are going to add something called a parts list. So we're going to go to the annotate menu, and right here it says parts list. The document we want a parts list for is the assembly. And then I'm going to click OK. And it says the bill of materials view is disabled. We want it to enable it. And then I'm going to click in place. And then you'll notice that in that parts list we have each of our parts, and each part has its own item number. And also notice that the end has a quantity of 2 because we used the end part, created one end part and then placed it 2 separate times. Pay attention to these item numbers here because they're going to show up here in our next step as well. So we're going to identify each of the parts from the parts list with a balloon. So I'm going to choose balloon, and then I'm going to go to my first end piece here. I'm just going to click right on it, and I'm going to pull it out, click again, and then I'm going to right click and choose continue, and notice that it puts a 4 on there. And I'm going to do that for each of my parts. So my round peg is 2, my triangle peg is 5, my square peg is 3, there's the end again, should be 4 still, and then the pegboard itself is number 1. Your numbers may or may not match the numbers on the drawing file example. What really matters though is that the numbers in these balloons correspond with the item number in the parts list. For example, the end is number 4, so in my parts list, end is number 4. So that matches, so that is fine. Next thing we need to do is add project name, student name, date, and scale, and that is it. Once you have that filled out, you can go ahead and save it. And we're going to put in the pegboard toy folder as pegboard assembly